September 9 AD. 3 Roman legions marched through the dense forests of Germania. 17,000 men, the best trained soldiers in the world, led by Publius Quintilius Varus, governor of Germania. They were marching back to their winter camp. The campaign season was over. They trusted their Germanic allies to guide them through the forest. It was a trap. Over 3 days, Germanic warriors led by Arminius ambushed the Roman column in the Teutoburg Forest. They killed nearly every soldier. 3 legions, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, were completely destroyed. Their eagle standards captured. Their commander dead. Rome never recovered these legions. Never crossed the Rhine again. Germania remained free. 1 man's betrayal, 3 days of slaughter, and Rome's expansion stopped forever. This is the story of Teutoburg Forest, the ambush that ended Rome's Germanic dream. This is the empire's end. By 9 AD, Rome dominated the known world. The Mediterranean was a Roman lake. Gaul was conquered. Britannia would be next. Germania was supposed to follow. But Germania was different. Dense forests, harsh weather, scattered tribes with no cities to conquer, no roads to march on, no clear enemy to defeat. The Germanic tribes were warriors, tall, fierce, and impossible to pin down. They lived in the forests. They knew every path, every stream, every hill. But Rome was patient. They established bases along the Rhine. They recruited Germanic warriors into auxiliary units. They offered trade, alliances, Roman citizenship. And slowly, Germania was being Romanized. By 9 AD, Publius Quintilius Varus was governor. He was a political appointee, experienced in administration, not war. He had pacified Syria. He believed he could do the same in Germania. He established Roman law, collected taxes, settled disputes like a Roman magistrate. The Germans hated it. They weren't some conquered province. They were free warriors being treated like subjects. But they played along. They smiled. They paid the taxes. They served in Roman auxiliary units. And they waited. One man saw the opportunity. Arminius, called Hermann by the Germans. He was a Germanic nobleman, educated in Rome, served in the Roman army, earned Roman citizenship, commanded Germanic auxiliaries under Varus. Varus trusted him completely. That trust would destroy 3 Roman legions. In September 9 AD, as Varus prepared to march his legions back to winter quarters, Arminius made his move. Arminius came to Varus with urgent news. A Germanic tribe was rebelling, not far from the route back to camp. A small uprising, easy to crush. But Varus should take his legions, show Rome's power, put down the rebellion before winter. It was a lie. There was no rebellion. But Varus believed him. Arminius was Roman-trained, Roman-educated, a trusted auxiliary commander. Varus ordered his 3 legions to march. 17,000 legionaries, plus thousands of camp followers, slaves, women, children, wagons full of supplies. The entire administrative apparatus of Roman Germania, a column stretching for miles. And instead of taking the main Roman road, Arminius suggested a shortcut through the forest. Faster route. Avoid the rebellion scouts. Varus agreed. The moment the Romans entered the Teutoburg Forest, Arminius and his Germanic auxiliaries slipped away. They claimed they were going to scout ahead, gather local allies. They never came back. Arminius had united the Germanic tribes. Thousands of warriors were already in position, hidden in the dense forest. The Romans were marching in a narrow column, stretched over 15 miles. They couldn't form battle lines, couldn't maneuver, couldn't see more than a few feet into the trees. The forest was thick. The path was muddy. It was raining. And all around them, hidden in the trees, thousands of Germanic warriors waited for the signal. On the first day, the ambush began. Day 1. The Roman column was strung out for miles when the first attacks came. Germanic warriors emerged from the forest. They threw spears, shot arrows, then vanished back into the trees. The Romans couldn't form their legendary battle formations. The forest was too dense, the path too narrow. They were in marching order, not fighting order. Officers tried to maintain discipline, but chaos was spreading. The column kept moving. They had to reach open ground. But there was no open ground, just more forest, more ambushes, more death. By nightfall, hundreds were dead. The column had barely moved. They made camp, but Germanic warriors attacked through the night. No rest, no reinforcements, no escape. Day 2. Varus realized this wasn't a small uprising. This was a coordinated ambush. He ordered the column to abandon the wagons, leave the supplies, strip down to weapons and armor, fight their way out. But it was too late. The Germanic warriors controlled the forest. They knew every path, every hill, every stream. They built obstacles, trees felled across the path, earthworks, traps. When the Romans tried to go around, they were ambushed. When they tried to push through, they were slaughtered. Germanic warriors wore captured Roman armor, carried Roman weapons. They knew Roman tactics. Many had served in Roman armies. But in the forest, Roman training meant nothing. The legionaries couldn't form their famous testudo, couldn't use their javelins effectively, couldn't leverage their discipline. The Germanic warriors fought like ghosts. Strike and fade, kill and vanish. No pitched battle, no chance for Roman superiority to matter. By the second night, thousands were dead. The column was broken into isolated groups. Officers were being targeted, centurions killed, chain of command collapsing. Day 3. Varus knew it was over. The survivors, maybe half the original force, tried one final push. Make for open ground. Reach the Rhine. Survive. They marched into a prepared killing ground. Germanic warriors had built fortifications ahead of the Roman route. Earthworks, stakes, ditches. When the exhausted Romans arrived, the trap closed. Arminius commanded from the earthworks. The man Varus had trusted, the Roman citizen, the auxiliary commander. He watched as his warriors annihilated the legions. Varus, rather than face capture, fell on his sword. The Roman eagle standards were captured, the ultimate dishonor. By sunset on the third day, 3 Roman legions had ceased to exist. The news reached Rome weeks later. Emperor Augustus was devastated. Ancient sources say he wandered the palace, banging his head against the walls, crying, "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions." But the legions were gone. Destroyed. Their numbers, 17, 18, 19, never used again. Too cursed, too shameful. Rome sent punitive expeditions. Germanicus, Augustus's adopted grandson, led campaigns years later. He recovered some of the eagle standards, found the battlefield, buried the dead. But Rome never conquered Germania beyond the Rhine. The dream of a Roman Germania died in the Teutoburg Forest. Augustus, in his final testament, advised his successors, do not expand beyond the Rhine and Danube. Germania isn't worth it. They listened. The Rhine became Rome's permanent frontier. For 400 years, Rome and Germania stared at each other across the river. But Rome never crossed in force again. Arminius became a hero to the Germanic tribes. He had defeated Rome, kept Germania free, but he didn't live long to enjoy it. Within a few years, rival Germanic tribes killed him. The same fractured tribal politics that made Germania hard to conquer also made it impossible to unite. But his victory resonated through history. When Germanic tribes eventually invaded and destroyed the Western Roman Empire 400 years later, they were the descendants of the warriors who fought at Teutoburg. The same forests, the same fierce independence, the same refusal to submit to Rome. One ambush, 3 days, 3 legions destroyed, and Rome's northern expansion ended forever. Teutoburg Forest changed history. If Rome had conquered Germania, Europe would be completely different. German would be a Romance language. The Rhine wouldn't be a frontier. German culture might not exist. But Germania remained free, and that shaped everything that followed. The Germanic tribes that eventually destroyed Rome, the Goths, Vandals, Franks, Saxons, came from the same forests where Arminius fought. They inherited his lesson: Rome could be beaten. In the 19th century, Germans rediscovered Arminius, or Hermann, as they called him. They built a massive monument to him. He became a symbol of German nationalism. One man's betrayal of Rome became Germany's founding myth. But betrayal is the wrong word. Arminius wasn't Roman. He was Germanic, educated by Rome, used by Rome, but never truly Roman. When he turned against Varus, he wasn't betraying his people. He was saving them. Historians still debate the battle. Was it really that decisive? Could Rome have conquered Germania anyway? But Rome itself thought it was decisive. Augustus's final advice: the permanent Rhine frontier. The cursed legion numbers never reused. Rome knew. Teutoburg was the end of Roman expansion north. 3 legions, 17,000 men, 3 days in a German forest. And an empire's ambitions died in the trees. The Teutoburg Forest still exists in northwestern Germany. You can visit the battlefield, walk the same paths where legionaries died. There's a museum, archaeological finds, Roman weapons, coins, evidence of the slaughter. And there's a massive statue of Arminius, Hermann the German, erected in the 1800s, a symbol of German pride. But for Rome, Teutoburg was a nightmare. 3 legions gone. The Rhine became a prison, not a frontier. Varus trusted the wrong man. Arminius played the perfect double agent. And 17,000 Romans died in the forest. Rome built an empire, but Germania was the limit. This was the empire's end. Next time, the Siege of Orleans, 1429, when a teenage peasant girl saved France from English conquest and changed the course of the 100 Years' War. Subscribe for weekly history. Thanks for watching.